I've been trying to tell people for years that mainstream media sees it as their job to undermine the message of truth and control what people think. But I get it. You don't want to believe me. You'd rather believe mainstream media if they said it. So here you go. Take it away, Mika.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. Control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Controlling what people think is the stated objective of fake stream media. Boy, that sure does sound conspiratorial. I've also been trying to tell people for years that mainstream media is just making crap up as they go along. But I know you still don't believe it from me. You'd rather hear it from mainstream media. So here you go again.
But I understand the whole situation is in flux, and, we're sort of trying to make it up as we go along based on the information that we get. Welcome to
the Squooey Wabbit Hole, and we better start paying attention. Man, if I didn't know any better, I'd think the objective of mainstream media was to distract, deceive, and divide the masses so they can be easily conquered. No way.
Crazy conspiracy theory.
BS, poisoned information, which traffics in hyper-partisan, oftentimes made-up information.
We're sort of trying to make it up as we go along.
Made-up information. Crazy right-wing conspiracy theories.
This is clearly a kooky theory with no evidence to back it up.
She's doing what they call in politics freezing pockets, because the donors are giving her money thinking she's going to run. That means they're not going to have available money for other candidates if she doesn't, and I don't think she's going to give it to them.
She's on her way to deciding.
We'll see.
About deciding.
We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
You know what I mean? She's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaigns. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
You know what I mean? She's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaigns.
This is crazy, maddening stuff if you're peddling this kind of crazy information.
It's really shameful.
People want to sometimes buy into these conspiracy theories, depopulation control by Bill Gates and George Soros. This is Looney Tune stuff.
Some boogeyman that they need to get people riled up and play on their fears.
We're sort of trying to make it up as we go along.
Let's see now. Controlling exactly what people think, making crap up as they go along, supporting and promoting political candidates to the exclusion of others while claiming to be unbiased journalists, and propping up boogeymen in order to incite a national fear-based reaction. And I'm just theorizing the existence of conspiracy? Okay.
But a lot of people did travel, and that has health experts issuing a warning. They are warning that the coronavirus pandemic will continue to get worse as the U.S. is seeing a surge in cases across the country. More than 4 million Americans were infected with the virus this month alone, and that brings the total number of cases in the country to more than 13.3 million. Over 266,000 people have died in the U.S. as a result of the virus. This is also according to Johns Hopkins University.
Hospitalizations are already at record highs in 33 states.
We may see a surge upon a surge.
Oh, that's so interesting. But, the rates were lower in the schools, so a lot of people argued it was probably safer to have children in the schools. But I understand the whole situation is in flux, and, we're sort of trying to make it up as we go along based on the information that we get. We're
building a financial system from scratch today. We do it to plan for this better digital future, to manage a secure transition from the current system, from cash-based to digital. Innovations like vaccines. We need a measurement system that tracks the vaccines,
Welcome back. A $140 million government contract is under question right now. The Defense Department says it's to acquire syringes for COVID vaccines, but claims online are questioning why the syringes have trackers in them.
Well, each of these devices that are injection
have the capacity to also have a small chip. What that chip does is it has the unique serial number for each dose.
Each microchip carries its own unique code.
It has the unique serial number for each dose.
Each microchip carries its own unique code.
It is designed so that there is no counterfeiting.
Implanting a microchip is a simple procedure. The microchip, about the size of a tiny grain of rice, is implanted under the loose skin. The process takes only a few seconds to help ensure that the microchip will stay in place so it can easily be located and read.
Wait a minute. I thought Melinda Gates said that technology doesn't even exist.
I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm because that technology doesn't even exist and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So
It will use a microchip scanner to read his unique microchip ID code. The scanner, which emits a low radio frequency, displays a microchip ID. This ID code will enable us to identify you.
That technology doesn't even exist.
We talked about the incredible opportunities that technology gives us in the future to create the world that we want,
I
think it's a very, very important task. It's a great honor to get involved because this digital period, which we like or don't like, next 30, 50 years, the human beings will be on the digital area.
So digital gives people power, and those were some of the things that we were excited about, is that inclusion of digital. That made us excited as a panel.
There are two articles that we're focusing on. This one in naturalnews.com and this one in breakingisraelnews.com. Both talk about a government contract to buy syringes with RFID tracking for COVID vaccinations.
That technology doesn't even exist.
Now, these articles led to social media posts claiming the COVID vaccine will contain a chip to track you.
Only we know instantaneously where and when that dose has been used.
The microchip is safe in humans.
I'm very concerned about this.
I don't know if I'm ready for this yet. J-Mel Golden says even if she could, she would not put a tiny microchip into her son Leo's arm to track him.
That technology doesn't even exist.
It's kind of a scary thought to me, really. Scary, she says, because it's so new. It's sort of a human barcode. The scanners are put up at airports and bus stations, so if a chipped child is there, police know.
But the practice of implanting chips in people is also on the rise. Those who embrace the idea say they see it as a way to take back control. As this
technology improves, the debate will intensify as to whether implants generate or diminish freedom.
The technology is moving to humans.
That technology doesn't even exist.
A tech startup called Dangerous Things has sold tens of thousands of implant kits for humans, some to tech companies in Europe. Showblood even organizes implant parties where people can bond over getting chipped together.
I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm because that technology doesn't even exist and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So
The Defense Department says it's to acquire syringes for COVID vaccines, but claims online are questioning why the syringes have trackers in them.
Hey, if you enjoy this content and you want to be notified every time I upload a video, just hit the subscribe button and that bell notification icon. And if you want to support this channel, one of the best ways you can do that is by liking and sharing this video with everybody you know everywhere you can on social media. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my private free email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and I have another website called highimpacttv.com where I'll be uploading censor-free, undiluted, unvarnished truth videos that are not messed with and tampered with by third-party tyrants and censorship lovers. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.